So I know that you guys said that each sale you've done something different and you learned from the previous sale. So in the past 5 years, how has the sale changed? How has your business changed?
Oh boy. You know, the technology is probably our number one change. And besides the fact that we had clotheslines for racks, the technology is the number one thing that sticks out in my head of just, you know, having handwritten tags back in the day where we had literally volunteers sorting the tags by consignor number and taking an adding machine and counting up what they earned. And really taking bins and bins of tags home where we would do it. I mean, I can't even describe. I would never want to go back to that. Mm-hmm. But it was a great way to start because it was affordable. And you know, the other thing is that's really changed, we've talked about it more than ever, is social media. And how now, you know, we have our moms all over Facebook talking about what they bought and Instagramming pictures of piles of clothes, and it's immediate advertising. So that's a huge change.
The best form of advertising for our business is word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so awesome to me just to even see someone retweeting or sharing something about our sale on Facebook, because it is it just pays off. It definitely pays off more and more. Yeah.
So what do each of you bring to the sale?
Well, we're completely different things.
Okay, so I'm usually the one up until the sale who's, I mean, we confer with each other on everything.
Yeah.
Everything, but I'm usually one doing all like the taking care of the insurance and setting up the, you know, the back part of the software, and the advertising I pretty much take care of, and getting all of the materials in place that we need, like shopping bags and all the orders, tagging guns, and all that little stuff. I usually, the scanners and all that stuff, so I usually do all that stuff too. And then when we get to the
and you're the
sale,
number cruncher.
I like to crunch
She
numbers.
is a number cruncher.
I
hate numbers. So, but I mean, I like to know the numbers, but I don't like to sit there and crunch them.
I do love it. In the middle of the machine, and the other thing, like at the sale, when the sale kicks in, I'm usually the one you see at the checkout doing this with the computers and trying to hook all that stuff up and getting the software running and the registers running and the printers running and the cables and the cords and the all that stuff, the credit card machines and all that stuff. And I mean, I do a lot at the sale too, but Jen's more of the force at the sale, and she always has the big picture, and I'm the little picture. Minute details are my thing. Jen's got
I see a dream 5 years down the road and think that's where we're shooting for, and that's where we're shooting when we started day one. I had the dream in my head, and if it, you know, wasn't for Jessie, we probably wouldn't get there, because it's all those little tiny details that you need to get to the end result. I'm more of a marketing person, a networking person, you know, speaking to groups, or you know, talking to people in West New York of how we can team up and different people that we can partner with. I'm usually the one that's putting volunteers in places and talking about what we need done. I'm extremely anal about organization, so you know, I feel like I'm constantly repeating myself of what it needs to look like, but in my mind I want a shopper to come in and to see a clean, organized, almost like a department store. I want them to feel like they're walking into Macy's and they know where the toddler section is and they know where the junior section is and they can see toys. I like it very, very, you know, systematic, so that when you come in and you have you know, maybe a baby in a stroller and a toddler you're trying to keep track of, you're going to know where you're going, and you're going to know where to find everything. So I'm kind of we're almost like you're behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and I'm
very much so. Very much so. I think that's exactly it, because she's much better at delegating, especially to the volunteers. I know I'll have volunteers come up to me and ask me what they should be doing, and I often refer them to Jen, because she knows exactly where the one area is that needs to be worked on. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
you know, and where I don't, I'm focused on other things. Like, you know, when you see us at the sale, I don't even think we're our full real selves, because we just have, it's just a spinning wheel in here of constant what needs to be done next, what do we have to look forward to, what, you know, all this other stuff.
It's like a never-ending to-do list that we're checking off in our head. So even if we're talking to somebody, that wheel is going. Yeah. It's a lot of responsibility, and it's, you know, to everybody. We're responsible to our consigners. You know, that's the number one thing. We're responsible for their stuff that they're putting in our hands for a certain amount of days.
We take it very seriously.
That is, you know, people will say, oh, can I get this for this price? No, it's not our stuff. It's not ours. It's somebody else's. We're responsible to the shoppers, that they come in and have a really awesome experience, have great stuff for great prices, and it's, you know, easy to find and easy to look through, and that they can have room for their stroller. So we're responsible to a lot of people, and we feel the pressure of that at every sale. We often, you know, when we actually wind down at the end of the night, we're often laughing, thinking, what do these people think of us? Because we're so serious. We're actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I think we're kind of
pretty laid back. But not there. It's, you know, it's business, and it's all crammed into a week. That's our 1 week to really display what we've been working on.
So, how have you guys become better business people?
Well, at first when I say I never thought I could have a business partner, because I am I'm a control freak, and she is too. And you have to basically refer to each other. First of all, you have to have a ton of respect for somebody else to be a partner. Trust. You have to trust them with your own children's lives, because to us, this is a baby. This is something we're taking care of. And I didn't think we would ever, I didn't think I would ever be able to see such a successful partnership. But I think that it's probably better that we weren't friends when we became partners, and that over the course of 5.5 years of, you know, trusting each other and referring to each other, the friendship developed after. You can't let each other down, you know. You have to pull your own weight, and you have to be able to, say I have an idea and she doesn't agree. I have to hear her out, and we weigh it out. But I think we're just so invested in the business that we know that each other's heart's in the right place, and that, you know, we're gonna make the best decision between the two of us.
Yeah, I think we both just, one of the many things we have in common, we strive to do better every time. So we work on that together, and it's fun working on it together. It can be stressful too, but you know, it's fun to bounce ideas off of someone, and to see it come to life with someone else is pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So what advice can you give entrepreneurs? They could be moms or someone without children. What advice can you give them to start up a business?
Don't give up. Yeah. We have had many
moments
and days in sales where it was, I mean, I've cried, we've had things happen. You can't make everyone happy. That's impossible. But don't give up. And if you have a hunger and a passion for what you're doing, then it will thrive. I don't think there's any way it can't. If you have a passion, you can make it happen, I think.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible. I think that you have to figure out before you start what your long-term goal is. So you know what you're striving for. You also have to find, you know, one of the things that we we struggled with in the growing years is where's the line between a decision that is best for the business and a decision that is best for a mom that we really like now because we've worked with them. And a perfect example is the take-in process. We get stricter and stricter and stricter. Why? Because it's best for the business, it's best for the shopper, and our goal at every take-in, at every check-in process is that we only want items that have an 80% chance or higher of selling. Otherwise, why are we taking up space, paying, our rent is not cheap. We pay a lot of money to be at the fairgrounds with good reason. And every square inch of that building is, we have to make the most of. So when we're doing a check-in, it may be a mom that we just love to pieces, but the bottom line is if we think this outfit isn't going to sell or this stroller is overpriced, we're turning it away. It's very hard to do. But we made a commitment a long time ago that if we're going to be in business, we're going to put the goals and the guidelines of the business first. And I think that's very hard when you're working with other moms because, we love other moms. I mean, they're like us. And so it's hard.
It's their stuff too,
yeah.
So there's a little bit of a rejection feeling that comes with it when we don't take something. And I don't ever want to make that person feel like it's beneath us or anything like that. There should never be any hard feelings. But like she said, it's for the business. We know after 5, years of sales what our shopper is looking for. And if we tell you it's not what they're looking for, it's not what they're looking for. So
I think at this point, Jesse and I could go through any part of the building and point to something and say whether we think it'll sell or not. And unfortunately, we cannot be checking in everybody's stuff anymore with thousands and thousands of items. It's just not possible. But we're trying to have guidelines that are across the board and what's best for not only the business but the shopper and the consignor, because why tag something that isn't going to sell? It's pretty much a waste of time to us and to the consignor and to the shopper. But I think with entrepreneurship, there's so many things that you're not going to learn until you do the work, until you live the dream, you walk the walk every single day, up and down every single hurdle. You don't know until you're in it, how much better you can be until you practice and live and learn. I think that was a big thing.
Okay, that pretty much wraps up all the questions that we had. So I just want to thank Jennifer Ford-Berry and Jesse Boardman for taking the time out and doing an interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.